Just take a look around you. I mean, that desk you're at, that bookshelf, maybe the cabinets in your kitchen, they're probably made of wood. But chances are, it's not the kind of solid wood you might be picturing. Nope, it's something way more clever. So today, let's dive into the hidden world of engineered wood.
Yeah, when you think of really good furniture, this is probably what comes to mind. Beautiful, solid wood, right? It's got that unique grain, that warmth. It just has so much character and strength. It's kind of the gold standard. But here's the thing about solid wood. It's got a secret weakness. Over time, and especially when you have thinner pieces like a shelf, it can bend, it can warp, it can totally deform. And trying to find one massive, perfectly stable piece of wood, man, that is incredibly tough and super expensive. It's a real challenge for engineers.
So what did they do? Well, they came up with this really brilliant solution. Instead of trying to force a natural material to do something it doesn't want to, they decided to just take it apart and build it back, but better.
And this right here is the aha moment. Engineers literally broke wood down into its basic building blocks. You've got everything from these large, thin sheets called veneers, to smaller rectangular strands, all the way down to tiny particles and sawdust, and even the individual wood fibers themselves. By taking it all apart, they figured out how to put it back together in a much smarter way.
And the advantages of doing this? They're huge. The boards you get are way more consistent, or homogeneous if you want to get technical. You can make them in absolutely massive sizes. And the big one is, they're way more stable. They resist all that warping and bending we just saw.
All right, let's start putting our wood back together. And we'll begin with boards that are made from the biggest components, these layers and strips.
So first on our list is something called blockboard. If you look right at the edge there, you can see exactly how it's made. What you're seeing is a core made of solid wood strips, all glued together, side by side. This makes for a really solid, stable core that's actually lighter than if it were one full slab of wood.
Okay, next is a classic I'm sure you've all heard of, plywood. The secret to its incredible strength is all in how it's built. It's made from thin layers of wood, or veneers, and always an odd number of them. And here's the really clever part. The grain of each layer is turned 90 degrees to the layer below it. So any tendency for one layer to expand or warp is immediately canceled out by the layer next to it. It's like they're fighting each other to stay perfectly flat, which makes for an unbelievably strong and stable board.
Okay, let's go a step smaller now. We're moving away from those neat, organized layers and into a world of smaller wood pieces, kind of all mixed together.
All right, this is probably the one you'll see most often. It's particleboard. It's made from all the little bits and pieces, wood chips, shavings, even sawdust. You basically mix it all up with a special resin and then use a ton of heat and pressure to press it into a solid sheet. It's super economical and really versatile. You know, I'd bet you have some of this in your house right now. This stuff is literally the backbone of all that flat pack furniture we know and love. From wardrobes to desks to bookshelves, particleboard is what makes so much of modern furniture affordable.
Okay, here's a little insider tip for you. Not all particleboard is created equal. If you ever come across a board that looks kind of green, that means it's the special water-resistant type. You'll see it used in kitchens and bathrooms. And if it has a reddish color, that means it's been treated to be fire-resistant. Super handy to know.
Next up, we've got OSB, which stands for Oriented Strand Board. And you can spot this one from a mile away, right? It has that really distinct look of compressed wood chips. You can think of it as a mashup of plywood and particleboard. It uses these larger, rectangular wood strands, and just like plywood, they're arranged in layers that are perpendicular to each other before they get pressed. It's that clever orientation of the strands that gives OSB some serious strength. Pretty similar to plywood, but usually for a bit less money. It's also really good with moisture, which is exactly why you see it all over construction sites for things like wall sheathing, subfloors, and roofing. So, we've gone from strips to particles. You know what's next? We're going even smaller, all the way down to the actual wood fibers themselves. So, this is a question that comes up a lot. What's the real difference between particleboard and MDF? Well, the difference is actually pretty simple when you break it down. Particleboard, like the name says, is made of small particles, little chunks and shavings of wood. But MDF, or medium-density fiberboard, that's made from teeny tiny wood fibers, almost like a pulp. That's what makes MDF so much denser, smoother, and heavier, and yeah, about 40% more expensive. So why would you pay more for MDF? What's the big deal? Well, it all comes down to that perfectly smooth surface. Because it's made from those fine fibers, there's no wood grain or chunky texture at all. It creates this incredible, flawless canvas that is just perfect for painting. Seriously, nothing beats it.
It also lets you cut and shape really detailed edges without chipping, so it's amazing for things like custom cabinet doors and decorative moldings.
Now, a close relative of MDF is hardboard, and what's really cool about this stuff is how it's made. They use so much heat and pressure that the wood's own natural glue, a polymer called lignin, actually bonds the fibers together. No extra synthetic glues needed. You've definitely seen this stuff. It's that thin backing on the back of wardrobes or cabinets, with the one smooth side and one rough, textured side.
Whew. Okay. We have covered a ton of ground. Plywood, OSB, Particleboard, MDF. So, with all these options, how do you pick the right one for your project? Let's wrap this all up.
Think of this right here as your ultimate cheat sheet. So, quick recap. Need serious strength and stability for something structural? You go for plywood. Doing some heavy-duty construction on a budget? OSB is your friend. Making some affordable indoor furniture? Particleboard is the way to go. And if you're painting and need that perfect professional-looking finish, it's MDF all day long. Each one is the right tool for a specific job.
So from now on, when you look at a bookshelf or walk past a construction site, you're not just going to see a piece of wood. You'll know the secret story hiding inside it. You'll understand the engineering that went into it. So the only question left is, what are you going to look for on your next project?